Brother, if you found out that your wife's been hiding her phone, maybe putting it under her pillow, change the passwords, and you find out or suspect that she's cheating, then you're going to want to know, like, how do I reconcile this? How do I get her back? And the short answer, in my opinion, is fuck no. If someone can lie to you to your face every day and tell you that she loves you while going and sleeping with somebody else and putting her entire family and your future and financial future at risk, that person does not value and does not value her family very much. Even if she is in this emotional state, trust me, she's a grown-ass woman. She knows what the fuck she's doing. You shouldn't reconsider it. But if you want to know if you should actually reconcile this, I'll tell you how it works. Now, with that being said, I've worked with 3,500 guys in this particular situation, and I've yet to see one fucking woman do this. Not that all women are bad, but usually when you're dealing with betrayal, this is the kind of shit that we're dealing with. 1, does she show genuine remorse? Is she actually sad about it? Or is it just a bunch of crocodile tears? You know, if she's actually sad about it, and she's showing genuine remorse, you'll know the difference. She'll cry, she'll actually be really upset, and it'll be a different kind of crying other than the, oh, I'm just crying because I'm afraid my life's falling apart. It'll be crying because she's afraid of how it hurt you. There's a big difference between remorse on losing her situation versus having remorse for hurting you. And because she has remorse for hurting you, she'll freeze the other guy out. She'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. And oftentimes she'll confess to it. Not because she wants to hurt you, although I've seen women do this where they'll confess to the guy just to hurt him and knock him down even more because she's more interested in power and control. And if that's your situation, obviously you need to eject and join my program immediately. But if she actually has that remorse, she's going to freeze this guy out immediately. She's like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. This was wrong. I'm out. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do this. And she'll freeze him out. Even when he tries to contact her, she will have him frozen out. And does she commit 110% to reconciling? Not one of these whole things where she's like, well, I wish you'd just forget it. Or why can't you just trust me? Or why can't we just move on? And even if you go to a counselor about this, the counselor's going to say, well, the problem is you don't trust her. And you shouldn't trust her. That's retarded. Why would you trust somebody who's being untrustable? But you should see her committing 110% of the effort. She should be scheduling the counselor. She should be reading books, buying books, finding any time to spend with you, even organizing dates. She should be 110% in. You should really feel like she really wants you and really wants to reconcile this and would do anything to make it up to you. Does she take responsibility for her part? Most of the time, somebody who cheats does not want to take responsibility. They want to just sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened because they're not sorry. They're just sorry they got caught. So you won't ever be able to get to the bottom of it. She'll just want to sweep it under the rug. But somebody who actually is remorseful in a situation, she's like, yeah, I take full responsibility for my part. Not only do I take full responsibility for my part, I'm going to change these things within me because I can't believe that I hurt my husband, I hurt my family. And you'll feel this from her. You'll feel that she actually takes responsibility for everything that she did in it. That doesn't mean that you're blameless. You probably did a bunch of things to help create the situation. But for her, she's going to do her best to show that she's taking as much responsibility as she possibly can. And is she open about the details? The details of the situation. When you ask her, hey, who are you with and where are you going? And she's like, yes, this is what I did. And she may be ashamed of it. She may not want to talk about it, but she'll be open with you. And she'll try to express what's going on. Now, in the beginning, she may not want to talk about these kind of things, but eventually she will. As she sees that it's okay to talk to you and be open about these things without you losing your shit and flying off the handle at her, which isn't going to help your situation. You need to stay calm, cool, and collected in this situation if you want to try to reconcile with your wife. But when you do ask her the questions and you say, hey, what's this credit card charge? Where were you going? What were you doing? She's open to it. Now, with that being said, here's one big caveat. You don't need to know all this stuff. It's not going to help you at all. It's just going to make you more paranoid and make you feel more inferior as a man as you keep comparing yourself to her lover and what she was doing with that guy. Which means you're going to be paranoid. Is she actually telling the truth? I mean, she lied to me for months. How do I know she's telling the truth? So you're going to be paranoid about this. You're going to want to search her phone. You're going to want to check her phone records. You're going to want to see who she's been hanging out with. You're going to want to track her car. You're going to want to do all kinds of crazy stuff that you wouldn't normally do. But is she patient with your paranoia and mistrust? It's understandable. Yeah, you're going to mistrust her. You should mistrust her. You need to rack up a bunch of wins of trustability from her over a long period of time to be able to trust her again. You need to see this effort consistently. And is she patient with it? Most cheaters are not patient with it. They're just like, can you just stop this already? I wish you just forget about this. I wish you just put it under the rug, or whatever it is that she's saying. In other words, you don't get closure. You don't get any of the details. And that's by design. She doesn't want you to know all this stuff. But if she's remorseful, she's not going to want you to know it then, but she's at least going to be open with you. And she's going to be patient with you because she sees how much it hurt you. And she can see that you're just reacting to something that she did. Which leads me to the last point. Can she maintain this for over 6 months? This patience, this understanding, this commitment to reconcile. Most cheaters will not. They can't even do it for 2 weeks. They'll go to the counselor and then just to try to triangulate the counselor against you. Or they'll go to the counselor just so they can tell everybody else that she tried everything. But if she really is remorseful and she really wants you and she's your ride or die, she's going to try for more than 6 months. She's going to be patient with your paranoia. She's going to be patient with your mistrust. She's going to be patient with the fact that you want to know all the details. Even though you probably don't need to be asking, she's going to be patient about it. She's going to put in 110% of the effort. You're going to feel that she really wants you and be all in. And then at this point, if this is the case and you still want to stay with her, then it's going to be up to you to deal with your mistrust. And you do it by doing the same thing back to her. Go in 110%. But if you're trying to figure out if she's cheating on you, you don't go in 110% because you just reward bad behavior. Why would you reward bad behavior? By being even more accommodating, even more of a better husband than you probably already were. That's not what you do. In fact, if you have been cheated on, text this number right here. You and I'll have a conversation. We'll see if you're a good fit for the Portray to Badass program. If you are, then we're going to invite you. And if you do get invited, do whatever you can to join. Because this program is the most powerful program on the internet. And I know this because I've seen all the other ones. So within 2 weeks, we can get you back into your emotional power. Within 4 weeks, you're going to be firing on all cylinders in your life. And then within 5, you're going to have more attention from women than you ever thought possible, even from your wife. That doesn't necessarily mean we want her attention, but that does mean that you will get it. So if you want to do this, you want to get power back, you want to know who you are as a man, and you want to reconcile this in one way or another, either you have her stay or you want her to go, but it's on your terms, then again, text this number below. We'll have a conversation. And if you enjoyed this video, if this was helpful for you, go ahead and like and subscribe.